Let me open this Splunk instance. Admin. Search and reporting. This is the app, default app you need to select for searching your data. App and this one, search and reporting, and index equal to Linux. So I have all the data here. So if you check, these are the host information, my log source 192.168.1.14, which is my Linux machine.
Okay.
And these are the sources I'm monitoring. So let me make it in it. Stats. This is a SPL query actually. I'm not going to cover that. Stats count by source. So I will get all the information about the source, like var log history.log, term.log, authentication.log. So I'm monitoring from var log directory completely.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me do some authentication so we can check it here, the IP addresses and all. 68. I'm doing some failed authentication. So authentication log will come under var log auth.log. So I will search that source equal to. See, if I press enter, failed password for invalid user Faisal from 192.168.1.6. So that means there is no such user created. It's an invalid user actually, Faisal. Okay, so we are getting all the complete logs from the Linux server.
Okay, so this is basically the IP from which we have connected.
Exactly. So let me show you the host IP here. IP config. This is my base machine, my laptop 1.6.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So based on this information, you can create the correlation search or the security use cases.
Okay.
So most probably we can have one more session prep for creating the correlation search in Splunk Enterprise Security, which is the actual SIEM app in Splunk. Yeah. All right. So our next integration, which is FortiGate firewall. So I have already created the index here in my Splunk instance. The index name is FortiGate. FortiGate is already created. So let me, So let me explain the steps.
And those who are watching this podcast, do let us know. Shall we do the next podcast with Faisal on FortiGate? I have a complete right to disturb him. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Do share your suggestion comment box. Yeah.
So let me show you the steps to integrate FortiGate firewall with Splunk. This is my syslog. Currently what I have done. This is my Splunk server 1.13. Okay. I'm basically listening. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm listening the port number 514 in UDP 514 here. UDP and 514 is enabled.
Okay.
See here, I already enabled it. Now you have to mention the syslog IP address here in the FortiGate firewall, which is 192.168.1.13. And before creating any policy from the source to destination for the UDP for the syslog traffic, make sure your the port number of your syslog default port number. Yes. So under services, syslog UDP 514. Yes. TCP UDP. If you want to use some custom port number, that you can change it here.
Okay.
Yeah. And after that, I have enabled a firewall policy, LAN to WAN firewall policy, which I have allowed everything. Okay. Yes. And after that, I check the communication from the Fortinet firewall, the ping traffic. I verified my FortiGate firewall is able to communicate to this Splunk. All right. Okay. Now, if we go to apps, search and reporting, index equal to FortiGate, enter. So I can see the logs from the FortiGate firewall.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
And if you want to
can see.
investigate a particular log and all that, how to do that?
Yeah, sure. So, for example, if I'm going to analyze from the FortiGate firewall, what are the outgoing traffic has been established. I mean, the destination IP, destination port number, source IP, source port, and bytes, all this information. Using the stats command. So I can see
Okay.
all the fields here, which are very useful, like action. I have allowed some blocked traffic, some tear down, log off, modified, and I can see some app here, DNS traffic, HTTPS. Yeah. Then I have some bytes in and bytes out. All right. Then destination IP. I have done some ping to this particular IP 1.1.1.1. And the policy name also displaying here, LAN to WAN, which I already created in my FortiGate file. Yeah. So let me run some command here. Stats count by src underscore IP, dest underscore IP, dest underscore port. Let me confirm the field name. Yeah. So this will give me complete information about source and destination traffic and the port number as well. From this IP, source IP, I have communicated to this destination IP over port number 443. Yeah. So this is the tabular format. You can use table command to get the result in tabular format.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So anything you want? Any questions, Prabh?
No. So if it's no, so if you can quickly walk through with the one log, how to investigate and all that will be great.
Okay. All right. Okay, fine, perfect. This is at my user machine. I'm trying to log into some websites, and I will start it. I will do some ping 3.3.3. Sorry. I want to find some blacklisted IP, so I will try to, yeah, and let me try to open some social media websites. Facebook.com.
Yeah.
So actually, this traffic, I'm actually getting the access via this firewall. It
Mm-hmm.
is connected to my DSL modem.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So SRC. So I'm trying to analyze the logs from the source IP 10.10.10.11, which is my user IP.
Okay.
This one.
Okay.
Sender. So I can see all the logs from this IP, the user IP, the user machine.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the actions, allowed, blocked, tear down. You can check the destination IP, destination IP addresses, destination port number. So let me analyze in a better way. Table, SRC underscore IP, test IP, test. Let's see. So this will help me to understand all the traffic from the source IP 10.10.10.11
Mm-hmm.
and the destination IPs. So mostly for the DOS attacks, how we gonna monitor? We will create a use case and the bytes out count, we will increase it. If the count is greater than 10,000, give me an alert. So Splunk will give you an alert.
So do we create some kind of a rule there, or it's what exactly?
No, actually, for creating the security use case or correlation rule, we need to have Splunk Enterprise Security app.
Okay.
Okay, which is licensed, and we don't have ES app here. So you need to create the correlation search. You need to have the Splunk Enterprise Security Premium app.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't have that in a limited versions and all that.
No, we don't have. We need to purchase from Splunk. Also, it is not free to download. You cannot download for free.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. But
This is also
I
called.
I have a cloud instance. I have a cloud instance with me. If you allow me, I can log into the enterprise security and I will show you how.
That's
fine.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. It's more like a log clipping, right? That we set.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Now I have one more integration pending, which is integrating our Active Directory.
Okay.
So can I move?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Okay. This is my Windows server. I have installed and configured Active Directory. This is my domain controller, and the domain is test.local.
Okay.
So I'm going to install the Universal Forwarder agent. Yeah. Check license agreement, customize option. So in this particular path, the Universal Forwarder agent is going to install. C program files, Splunk Universal Forwarder.
Okay.
For next, I'm not using any SSL certificate for the for my AD to communicate to the Splunk server. All right. Yeah. Click on next. I'm using local system account. Next, here you need to select
what kind of a logs we need to
want
forward.
monitor. Exactly.
Okay.
Application. Normally we select application, security, and system logs.
And those who are watching this podcast, for your information, security log capture your security activities, application log capture application activities. If user login in a wrong attempt and all that captured under the security logs, right?
Exactly. Correct. Yeah, correct. Next, and here I have to create a user account for the Splunk Universal Forwarder. So let me create an account, Splunk, and next. And this here, if you see, there is a instance in Splunk, can say in the management components deployment server. So let me explain this part. Imagine you want to integrate more than thousands of servers like Windows, Linux. You have more than 1,000 or 10,000 of servers. You need to integrate with Splunk. So configuring the universal forwarder in each and every instance, every server is not easy. I
Yeah,
mean, not
agree.
practically recommended. So
Agree.
in Splunk, we have a server deployment server where you can push the configurations to all the servers, workstations, etc.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, this message is popping up to register your Windows server with the deployment server. Currently,
Okay.
we don't have any deployment server.
Okay.
Some click going next. And here the receiving indexer. We have only one instance for acting as an indexer, acting as a searcher. So 192.168, 1.30. This is my Splunk instance. This one. And the port number 9997.
Okay.
Next, click on install. Finish, and let me check the default path. Program files, Splunk Universal Forwarder, etc. Here also you need to create some inputs and outputs.
Okay.
etc. System local. Here you can see some outputs.configuration, and I have already copied here the inputs.configuration. Input.configuration means the application security. So 1 minute, let me show you that. Inputs. See, these are the configuration for inputs.configuration. Application and security and system.
Do we need to modify something on this?
Yes, exactly. That I'm going to discuss now.
Okay.
By default, you can't see this entry, index equal to Windows. That you need to add, to which index you are going to store this.
Okay.
And by default, this will be 1. You need to change it to 0 to enable it.
Okay.
I already done the changes. The configuration is here in the Windows server, inputs.conf. I'm just copying to the default directory of the system local directory.
Okay.
Once you make any changes in the configuration file, you need to restart the Splunk service. So let me restart the Splunk service. Services.mc. Splunk forwarder, right click, restart. Now let me check my Splunk instance. Yes, I can see my logs from the Windows server. Yeah, I can see some event code 4634. I will do one thing. I will generate some failed login attempt and we can check 4625 is displaying or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have to verify all the services, what we have, right?
Yeah, sure. I will do that. Let me, in the source, we have security and system logs. Yeah, we have two security. Let me click on security. And if you check on the event code, I can see some 4624, which is successful login, and 4672, 4634. I can check my username as well. Source user. This is the default user when you are creating the Windows server. Yeah, it's a default user. So let me create some user and do some activities on Windows server.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have done some failed login attempt.
Mm-hmm.
So if we check on, see, I can see some 4625 event code.
Yeah.
Show 61 lines. Let me check. An account failed to login. Account name is admin. I have tried
Mm.
with admin account.
Mm.
And unknown, the failure reason is unknown username or bad password.
Mm.
Yeah. And there is another user, which is Faisal. Yeah.
Mm.
Here, unknown user or bad password. So basically, based on this data, you can create the correlation search.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me create one correlation search to detect the failed login attempts.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so let me try to find out what are the useful information we have. Account name is there. Faisal admin Splunk. Okay. Fine. Stats. So, Prab, basically the creating the correlation all based on your SPL proficiency. If you are good
Okay.
with SPL, it is very
But
easy
but
to create.
but we cannot do automation, something like that.
Not really,
Okay.
not to create use case. But enterprise securities ships with out of the box use cases more than you can say like more than thousands of use cases. So
Understood.
what you can do is you can edit it, and
Hmm.
based on your log sources, you can change the query.
Understood.
Yeah. Stats count by account name. Domain, workstation. Also, logon type also different. I mean,
Hmm.
important field
Mm-hmm.
logon underscore type. Yes, now I can see the account name admin, and
Mm-hmm.
he tried to access the test domain, and this is the workstation name because I'm trying from my directly from my server. So the server name is displayed here,
Mm-hmm.
and the network address is loopback IP. So I'm trying from the same machine,
Mm-hmm.
and the logon type is 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think logon type is 2 is interactive login.
Yeah, because that is validation. Yeah.
Yes. Where count, you can basically add this parameter where count
Mm-hmm.
greater than or equal to 3. So yes, I have 8 count here from this is the local account. So basically I can filter this to fine tune the use case. I can filter this account. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want anything from the dollar, which
Mm-hmm.
is this is default generated user.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Let me filter that. Search account underscore name not equal to
Mm-hmm.
anything coming with start. Yes, now I have only Faisal is the user.
Mm-hmm.
There is some failed login attempt. The count is 4 and the logon type is 2. So
Okay.
if you have this query, basically you can copy and your Splunk Enterprise Security, you can configure it.
Hmm.
Yes. So I will do one more thing, Prab. Let me
Mhm.
create one user account and we
Yeah.
will see we will check the event ID.
Yeah.
User create. Just I'm checking this option. I don't want to. Okay, password Nair space. Because I cannot change the password. Yeah, I think there are some password requirements complexity. Let me change.
Sometimes governance has to be respect.
Password. Okay. Finish. So let me check the log.
Mhm.
Yes, security. For the last 15 minutes.
So this is the filter you are setting for.
To create that particular 4720, I believe the
Mhm.
user ID creation event code 4720. I will check it here.
Okay.
Event code is equal to 4720. So let me check here administrator and the
Mhm.
new account created is Splunk account name and the user details.
Okay.
Yeah. Password not required, enabled, normal account enabled. It's not a privileged user or any service user.
Hmm.
Yes, all good. We are getting all the logs prep. Everything's fine.
That's great.
Yeah. In
So,
the next session, yeah, tell me.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Faisal. Go ahead.
No, I'm planning to create some workshop with you if you are.
Mhm.
I mean,
Definitely.
I know your schedule
No,
too
no,
busy,
definitely
but
with
yeah.
anything for my podcast.
If we can arrange some session related to enterprise security, because most of the candidates they don't
Hmm.
have any platform to learn enterprise security.
Yeah, I agree. So
So we
those who
can,
want, those who are looking for the enterprise security, do share in the comment box. So
yeah,
we'll definitely going to discuss about enterprise security perspective.
yes.
So, Faisal,
Uh,
before I
mhm,
basically wind up anything, I want to ask you one thing.
mhm.
What are the top questions they will ask from the Splunk perspective when they go for the interview and all that?
Okay, let me add that part. Definitely, you can expect some question related to Splunk architecture.
Okay.
Yeah, here you need to answer like the data processing components and management components
Mm-hmm.
and difference difference between
Yeah, you can speak. That's okay.
universe.
You can speak only.
Ah,
So it
okay,
getting
fine.
recorded. Yeah.
Splunk architecture and
Mm.
the difference between Splunk universal forwarder and heavy forwarder
Okay.
and the port requirement
Okay.
or the Splunk default port numbers
Okay.
plus the data onboarding part. So
Okay.
definitely they will ask what type of log sources you are onboarded. I mean, you are integrated with Splunk.
Okay.
And I faced many questions related to the syslog.
Just
So
log.
each
Okay.
sys, so let me show you that part.
Mm-hmm.
The question which I have faced in the Splunk is okay. etc. cd opt splunk etc system log system. So they were asking questions related to these parameters for the
Okay.
syslog. What is
Mhm.
connection underscore host equal to IP, or what is connection underscore host parameter under inputs.conf
Okay.
for the syslog. So
Okay.
connection underscore host is like, the host field,
Mhm.
what value you want to display, the IP address of the source or DNS of the source,
Okay.
host name of the source. I have faced this question and many questions related to the clustering.
Okay.
What is indexer clustering? What is searched clustering? And what is a role of cluster manager? There is a component called cluster manager. That
Hmm.
particular component is monitoring and managing the cluster activities of your indexers.
Okay.
So that those questions and how you will the troubleshooting part is very important. I mean,
Mhm.
in which queue you are doing the parsing.
Mhm.
So we have parsing queue. Under parsing queue, we have separate queues,
Mhm.
typing queue, merging queue, indexing queue. You remember our data was not in the onboarding to Splunk because the indexing queue was full.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it can be multiple reason. One reason is the storage is full,
Okay.
and the other reason is like the CPU high utilization of the CPU and memory.
Okay.
So there can be multiple scenario. Our issue was related to the storage. I
Mhm.
clean up some storages and we start getting the logs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more important thing I want to ask you about when you're talking
Mhm.
about implementation or when you're talking about the perspective and everything. So I want to ask
Mhm.
you one question is what kind of a questions can be asked in the interview from a SIEM logs perspective?
Okay, as a SIM admin.
Hmm.
Yeah. You can expect questions related to the SPL command. You
Okay.
will have multi because creating the correlation search or security use case, it's all about the SPL proficiency.
Hmm.
So I have faced this one question from, I don't want to reveal the company name,
Yeah, sure.
the difference between stream stats and event stats in Splunk. There are two
Okay.
statistical commands in Splunk. What is the difference between stream stats and event stats?
Okay.
And what is tstats command?
Okay.
How tstats will help you to get the faster result when you're searching with the tstats command.
Okay.
So let me answer for that question. That is really interesting.
Mhm.
So when you are storing any data inside your index, for
Hmm.
example, this is my firewall data.
Mhm.
There will be two files will be created. You can say
Mhm.
two folders inside your index. One is raw data and other one is TSIDX file.
Okay.
This is my raw data and this is my TSIDX file, basically the seek pointer
Hmm.
for your raw data. It's like an index page for your book.
Okay.
So what will happen if you are searching a command or creating a correlation search
Hmm.
using the tstats command?
Mhm.
The request will go to the TSIDX file instead of the raw data. Then
Okay.
this TSIDX file have the seek pointer for the raw data. So immediately it will map to that particular event.
Great.
But when you're using stats command, what is happening is stats or normal statistical command,
Mhm.
directly it is going to the raw data and searching all the data based on the timestamp you are applied. So it will
Okay.
take some time to get the result. But
Okay.
TSIDX, it's really quick and you will get faster result. When you have a huge amount of data or you want to search the data for the last 3 months or
Mhm.
6 months, always use tstats command. Plus, when you are creating the correlation search, what correlation search will do in the background, it will search for the anomalies 24/7
Okay.
based on our query. So
Okay.
when you are using the index equal to these then always the request will go to the raw data, and it is really slow. I mean, compared to the Tstats, it is slow.
Okay.
So always you can expect this question. What is TSIDX file?
Then it doesn't matter which country is that. It's normal question they ask in the interview
Yes,
perspective.
yes, the normal question, exactly.
Okay.
Yes. And you can expect some question based
Mm.
on the threat intelligence, asset and identity. See, for example, I have created some uses here
Okay.
in the my Active Directory to enrich more information about this user.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I can integrate my complete Active Directory, user details, the user information about he is from which country,
Mm-hmm.
is a manager, member of what is his organization, job title. Why we are doing this? Based on that, we can add the criticality for the use case.
Understood.
Asset and identity also very important concept in Splunk enterprise security.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, security use cases, mainly you can expect some question from the correlation search, asset and identity, threat intelligence, and we can basically monitor protocol data, I
Mm-hmm.
mean HTTPS, your SSL traffic, DNS traffic, with the help of Stream app.
Okay.
Stream app is a log onboarding method
Mm-hmm.
that you can monitor your complete network traffic with the help
Okay.
of Splunk.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have faced multiple questions from these topics: asset and
That's great.
identity, threat intelligence, security use cases, and all.
And that is how and what do you see the perspective of the Splunk in next 5 years, like the way, because I don't see any competition for Splunk so far, but yeah, we have
Exactly. That is.
also, yeah.
Prabh, I'm working as a Splunk consultant. I'm doing multiple. I have done multiple implementation.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the requests from the customer, they are migrating from the current SIM tool to the Splunk.
Understood.
So, yes, because they want to integrate all the log sources. They want to
Mm-hmm.
have complete visibility
Mm.
to their data. So other SIM tool, what is happening is, as I said, it will not support if you are integrating huge amount of log.
Understood.
Yes, so we are getting a lot of requests for the implementation, and I have done around 12 to 15 implementation for different customers,
Oh,
including the government sector. Yeah.
that's great.
Yes. So my suggestion, the certification, if you have like at least Splunk architect level, it is not hard to get a job in Splunk field. You can say, like
Oh,
as a
okay.
Splunk admin, as a
And do you recommend any free resources which they'll need to learn from a Splunk perspective?
yeah, is fundamental 1 and fundamental 2 is there.
Okay.
Yes, that will be a good entry point
Hmm.
for a beginner if they want to learn Splunk technology.
Okay, that's great.
Yes.
But thanks, Faisal. Thanks for sharing your insight, your wisdom, and team. Those who are watching this video, do share in a suggestion box. Shall we disturb him for FortiGate? Because he good with FortiGate, and we can have more videos or more podcasts on a Splunk. But
Yeah,
thank you,
sure.
Faisal. I understand how the life is basically sometime very busy when you work on operation side, and especially it's your weekend. And taking out the time in a weekend for giving back to society is a big thing, actually, Faisal. And I mean, I
Thank
do
you.
appreciate the kindness and the support you're showing for this session.
Yeah, but Prabh, I'm really, I mean, I want to thank you, like, so, to go for giving this opportunity. I feel like I'm really honored, and thank you so much.
No, we are also honored because we have seen such a great experience of Splunk in this podcast, and I'm sure it will provide a great value to the people who want to make a career in the Splunk. Thanks, Faisal. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
welcome. Sure.
And those
Yeah.
who are watching the video, do let me know how do you find this video in the comment box. And if you're new to the channel, do subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to make sure you should not miss the future videos on the same topic. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much. Good day. Bye.